ASAP Rocky was in Sweden and he got locked up. Your boy ASAP Rocky got locked up in Sweden. He's been in jail for 5 days. Is that right, Ian? Sources tell us that the rapper is sleeping on a yoga mat with no blankets. There's a prisoner in the next cell with severe mental issues who slams his head against the concrete wall and hurls feces every which way. Feces that are not cleaned up. Damn. The water, we're told, is not clean and the food is not edible. For the first 5 days, ASAP Rocky ate an apple a day, and that's it. Luckily, we have a video of this situation, and so we can kind of make a call for ourselves. Now, in this video, he's basically stalked by, I don't know if they're drunk or what, but they're definitely some hooliganisms, like just really harassing them. So let's watch and see and make a distinction if this was justified. They're definitely trying to defuse the situation, you know? So you were saying, Ian, that basically we don't know what instigated this conflict. There's no video or anything from before.
Yeah, we're kind of jumping mid, situation here. So I'm not sure why they're following him to begin with.
But
they don't seem to know who he is. So it
oh, really?
Yeah, later on someone explains, they ask, "Can I tell them that you're famous?" And he's like, "No, you don't do that."
What? They don't know even who he is? But why are they stalking him then? So strange. Well, I have to assume that they didn't instigate it. I mean, first of all, they don't want any trouble. It's quite obvious already from the first 20 seconds here. And these guys are following them around for a long time quite aggressively. I mean, what possibly could have happened to instigate that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they do know who he is, and then they just played dumb later on.
I have a feeling they must know who he is. He's got a huge entourage. It's kind of obvious that he's like a famous dude. He's dressed in designer clothes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about his headphone already, Ian.
Fix these niggas, bro.
Why is he already talking about his headphone? Did that already happen?
No, that's a good question.
I don't think so. Maybe the video's cut out of order.
He keeps saying headphone, because I guess at one point his
if you
body
go forward, it's in this video, so maybe the person just cut it.
But what happened? The bodyguard slammed his headphones or some shit, or threw his headphones?
Well, at one point, the guy hits the bodyguard with his headphones.
Oh.
Which seemingly smashes it, and then he starts demanding compensation.
I fail to see how that's their fault.
You're right, yeah.
Why would you attack someone with your headphones, you ding-dap?
But again, I mean, this video does start mid-situation, so you can't really say what happened.
Let's piece this together.
Yeah.
Yo, we gonna fix these niggas, bro.
Did his homies get locked up too, Ian?
Oh, here's the headphone clip.
So why is he already talking about his headphones?
Well, you see there was a cut there. I mean, this might be out of order.
It looks like the person's trying to do a little flashback, get creative with their editing here.
But if that's before the headphone attack, the infamous headphone attack. Dude, first of all, who tries to fight like a 400-pound massive black dude? Like, already big mistake, dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy's like a little twink trying to throw down against like a 400-pound monster. Yeah. Bodyguard. But that he's got to be drunk or something. He has to be under the influence.
Possible.
To throw down like that on a huge dude. So they get in a brawl. Homie takes off his headphones, which of course is
right there. That was where he smashed the headphones over the bodyguard.
Homie grabs the headphones, like treats them like a nunchucks. Pretty poor weapon choice. Oh yeah, he just struck him in the face. What's going on here? What's
and then
even?
he asked them to pay for his headphones.
Homie just punched him in the face. You can see it right here. And not only did he not respond, he walked away. I don't know why they're being held in prison. Dude is clearly just attacked them. And they're not even reacting violently yet.
Yeah, he just shrugs off the hit, which, like you said, I mean, he's a pretty big guy, so it's probably like what the...
Because he's like, I will murder you. Go away.
Right.
You know? I mean, it seems ludicrous that they're locking him up in such horrible conditions, too. And you said that he can be tried to stay in prison for 6 years, Ian?
Yeah, that's what he's facing, up to 6 years. If that actually happens, I don't see that very likely.
We'll have a diplomatic crisis. You know?
Yep.
Because I already see a lot of rappers and shit saying they're not going, like, you know, fuck Sweden. I'm never going there. I'm with them.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm not a Sweden expert, I guess you could say. But I do know that the music scene is huge there. So, like, you know, artists do go to Sweden pretty often. So if they all boycott it, that'll be a big deal.
Well, everyone's rich there. So they, you know,
Right.
like those fuckers are rich in Sweden.
Yep.
But beautiful country. I went there for the video game thing with Overkill.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, it's a beautiful country. We had a great experience there. Beautiful city. We were in Stockholm.
Anybody smash headphones over here?
Nobody threatened me with headphones or anything.
Huh. Weird.
But I'm not ASAP Rocky.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Maybe he's just not a fan. Does ASAP Rocky have a rival? Maybe he thought he was Travis Scott. And ASAP wasn't down. But, you know, we have to, at times like this, appreciate. I know I haven't watched the whole video, and you guys hate that, but give me a break, okay? We have to, at times, appreciate how fucking fantastic America is. Because we know what's going on here, okay? There is justice, for the most part, in this land. Take, for example, the Beatles, who went to Japan. They had some weed on them. They were about to be locked up for life. There's justice here. Try going to Dubai, okay? If you kiss a dude, they'll lock you up for life. Come on, and this is America. The guy was defending himself. You know? You got to remember, it's scary going to other countries because they'll just fuck. I went to Mexico with a drone for me and Hila's like anniversary or something, and these motherfuckers shook me down at the airport, at a huge airport in Puerto Vallarta. They saw I had a drone, an expensive drone, and they made me pay the VAT tax. They were saying I had to pay them $1,000 or I had to go back to America. I couldn't exit the airport.
What?
Yeah, I got shook down for $1,000 in the fucking Mexican airport, a main hub.
Was it even in was it in a box still?
It was in its box, yes. It was in its traveling box. And the guy recognized it, and he was like, you have to pay me the VAT tax or you can't leave. I was like, what the fuck? I look up the law, and I'm like, that's not what the law says. He starts trying to haggle with me. He's like, no, not 1,000. Okay, 800. And I was like,
wow.
You know, and that's the last time I went to Mexico, but I'm just saying, you got to appreciate America, man. Because when you're in other people's hands, when you're outside the country, man. I can't believe the Swedes locked him up for this shit. This guy's asking for shit, dude.
I can see why they arrested him initially, but
Fine, yeah.
I feel like once you watch the video,
Yes.
you know, you release him on bail or something.
Homie smashed his headphones over his bodyguard, and he's asking for compensation after he punched him in the face. Look how desperate they're trying to defuse this.
Hey, stop.
Why stop? He fucked with my iPhone.
Bro, you smashed it over him. We saw it.
Look, just for the cameras, we don't want no problems with these boys. They keep following us. Look at them. They keep following us.
I mean, I don't know how long this has been, but they've clearly walked several blocks away from them. And
yeah, and like you said, I mean, he's obviously trying to de-escalate the situation. I mean, I think that should be taken.
what can you do?
Yeah.
What else can you do? At a certain point, it's like, when do you need to defend yourself and tell these creeps to fuck off? So it culminates with them getting their ass beat, like hardcore getting their ass beat, like straight up World Star style.
Yeah.
I don't show that because I like being monetized.
Right.
But what happens eventually, which we're getting to, is that basically the whole gang starts curb stomping homie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beating. They give him a beating.
I guess they're asking some of the other Swedes to help translate.
Nah, he hit him with the headphones. That's it.
Sweetie, he hit me with the headphones. He cut me on my head. I could really beat the shit out of him. I don't even know him. He's following us.
He's saying, I don't know him. He's following us. He hit me with his headphones on the head. I should beat the shit out of him. I mean, they didn't. I don't understand. How can they lock them up after this shit?
Go somewhere. Go that way, bro, before you get hurt. We don't want to hurt y'all. Go that way.
Is that a Papa John's cup she's holding?
Hold on. What did she say that he said?
Tell him to go ahead.
Tell him to stop following.
Dude, what is this guy? Is such
So
a
weird,
weirdo.
dude. At a certain
He's
point-
gonna get his ass beat. Like, come on. Oh, they wandered off. And then
We don't even know. They keep touching us and following us.
This other guy,
Yeah.
he slapped my ass and my girlfriend's ass.
So, by the way, did you hear that? That other Swedish girl who's there said that guy touched her ass and her other friend's ass. Just because they're fucking hooligans. They're like drunk hooligans. So what the next video, I guess I can play the audio, but anyway, the next one is basically all of them beating the shit out of him. I find it strange that ASAP Rocky's the one that got singled out too, because I mean, the bodyguard was the one. I mean, sure, he was in there stomping him and shit.
I think in that article it says that Rocky and his team are being.
They all got.
They probably all got bumped,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, in the video, which we're not going to show where the actual fight happens, I mean, he himself is like.
Yeah, he's there.
He's definitely in it. So.
But man, those guys had an ass beating coming. I'm gonna watch it. Maybe you can hear this. Oh no, you can't hear the sound. But here, I'll just describe. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Rocky's the one that threw his ass to the ground. It looks like.
Yeah.
Like pretty hard, and then there's like all four of them just beating the shit out of him. He looks good doing it, man. With his Gucci shorts and shit, he's looking fresh. They just beat the. But you know, it's like everyone's just wanting to beat this guy's ass so hard, and then it's like, once the floodgates open, homie had it coming. I don't know what to say, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they didn't like. I doubt they really seriously injured them. They just gave him an ass beating, you know.
Not sure about that. So yeah, I mean, hopefully not.
Yeah, I hope not. If he's seriously injured, then that would be different.
Right.
Listen to these Swedish kids.
Fucking Rocky är där.
This is as they're watching him beat the shit out of him. Yeah.
It's a tough one, but I think Sweden should just get his ass on a plane and send him home. Just go home.
Go
Get the
home,
fuck out of
don't
here.
come back kind of thing. I mean, that's usually what happens in these kind of situations when an artist is on tour or whatever. You mentioned it wasn't the Beatles. I think it was just Paul McCartney with Wings or whatever.
Oh, I thought it was the whole Beatles. I think it was the Beatles. They were on tour in Japan.
You know your Beatles lore, so I'll defer
Yeah.
on that one. But,
Thank you for saying that. Here's some of the people in the community reacting to the news. Tyler, the creator, said, "No more Sweden for me ever." And frankly, I don't blame him. That's exactly right.
You got that midsummer gift.
What are you supposed to do when some homie is stalking you? You can't. And he attacked him. What are we dealing with here? Schoolboy Q said, not going no more either. What's Flacco?
It's like his nickname. ASAP Rocky's nickname.
Oh, Flacco? What's the relation?
That's just Pretty Flacco is like people call him that. I'm
Okay.
not sure why.
Just like how Dick from Richard kind of thing?
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly like that.
Shorthand. Sometimes you just can't explain it.
Yeah.
This one, Little Yachty. Me 3. I will never hit Sweden again. I should get in on this. Me 4. I will never perform in Sweden. I should post that. Post Malone got in on it. He posted on Instagram. I just saw this today. He said, "Always strive and prosper. Love you very much. Justice for Rocky." Always strive and prosper. I'm not sure what just a little proverb in there.
He's a big Star Trek fan.
Strive and prosper, my dog. I stand with Rocky and request his release from Swedish officials. Sign the petition. Yeah, he shouldn't be locked up. That's outrageous. Especially if the conditions are as bad as they say. That's outrageous.